Good morning and welcome to Council Conversations. I'm your host, Councilman STEPHON Ferguson for District 1, and we're excited to have you here. We are in the studios this morning in Studio C, and it's good to be back. I know we did some, we're here every first Tuesday of the month. You can check us out at 9 o'clock every first Tuesday right here on WIDU. In the studios with us today is our special guest, no stranger to anyone. She's very community oriented and stays in the community and kind of, but Mrs. Angela A. Tatum.
Yes.
Welcome to the show and thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me. It was a late night last night. And we're back at it early this morning.
Yeah, it was a pretty late, man. And then we voted to move the time back another hour.
I know.
So we're going to start at 2 o'clock now.
Eventually, y'all are going to be at 9 a.m.
It's going to be 9 to 9.
9 to 9, yes.
We'll get a 3-hour break.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, we voted. I actually voted against that, but you know, hey, I'm with the majority, whatever they think. But I just didn't think we needed to add another hour because the few times that we did go over, it was because we went into closed session.
Exactly.
It wasn't the work
And
session
I think one
itself.
time you had a large gap, and
Right,
that was,
right. And there was some
so
time.
what do you do with that?
In fact, in the policy meeting that we had doing that, we ended it early and had to kind of hang out for a while.
Right.
So anyway, that's a whole nother story. That's not that important, but they'll probably see me like 2:30, 2:45. It just marked me late.
You know what? It is important to the citizens though, because we already feel, I'm in a place of privilege that I work for myself, so I can rearrange my schedule, but the majority of people are not able to rearrange their schedule. So even though it might be, a little inconvenience for our council members, there are community members that want to be engaged and they want to be in person. They don't want to, even if they want to listen to it virtually.
Right.
If they're, the earlier you get, the more and more you're kind of curating who actually gets to sit and participate. And so that is something to think about.
So, and it is. And I did get some calls from some of the residents. One of the things that we're excited about was the fact that it's now being video. I mean, they can see the video.
But you changed that camera view. Pretty soon you're going to have the camera at the ceiling. I'm going to have a sign on a string.
Right, yeah, it's always going to be a little twist and turn here. But it's good that it's actually on video. I think the audio and the video piece, because we came upon that before with the public forum, and when we changed the public forum, we came upon that as well. So when we were able to get the video piece of it, it's whatever the community can make them feel more involved, engaged, where they can actually see and hear at the same time is always a good thing. So and
you reach different people. Some people are visual, auditory, tactile. So making sure that you're engaging all of our community.
Absolutely, and which is one of the reasons that I brought up Faye Connect. And I presented that last night at the workshop, is because I think that's a great part. We're doing a lot to connect Fayetteville physically. The fact is we're the second least walkable and bikeable city in the United States of America, and we're home to the number one and the largest military base in the world. Who does nothing but walk.
We should be able to walk everywhere.
But that's great. We know now, we're working on it. I think we're doing an excellent job of putting these pieces together to make that happen, and to be more walkable, and we put funding in it in this budget, et cetera. So I think that's great. But at the same time, we have to be cognizant of the technical aspect of it as well. Particularly, we're working with this data centers. But so what I propose to council is a robust notification system, so people can opt in for hearings, for public forums, for whatever it is that they want to opt in for.
Right.
So wouldn't it be cool if you got a notice that says, reminder, tomorrow night is going to be a public forum. You must sign up by 5 o'clock tomorrow.
Even though I know that, but for community members,
that's what I'm saying.
And I'm glad that that's because there are a small sector that we already have that on our radar.
Right.
There are the vast majority of people that they're living their day-to-day lives, and a reminder is how they get through to the next event that they have to do.
Exactly.
So, yes, that
and
would
that
be
notification that, hey, and it can even go as deep as you want it, but it can even go as deep as our seniors and reminding them that, your trash pickup day is tomorrow. Yeah. Every department could really utilize
You
this.
could even do a survey at the end of council meetings to get feedback from the community.
Exactly, and that's one of the
that.
pieces that I brought out. This survey that we do every 2 years. We could actually do it every 6 months, really, because it'll be so quick. And you have that built-in database of people who have opted in, and you say, hey, what do you feel about this? What do you feel about that? It's a quick, great, technically savvy, up-to-date way of addressing. So we got to stay in line with where we are. We got to keep up the snuff. I think Mayor Pro Tem was saying last night, he was talking about the 8-tracks and the DVDs and the VHSs and, but now that's all gone. Even Blu-ray and DVD, we're moving into streaming. We're going into different, and a lot of people still love their, you probably got albums. A cassette in your car.
I have albums.
No,
let's talk about
you
car.
Wrote up, she wrote up here
he's gonna expose me. So I like self-exposure instead of, yes, I live in a multi-generational home, and
no, you don't have to go through all that. But you did drive up here in the data center.
But I did drive up in a full data center because my son-in-law, that was the, if you're in a driveway where cars are in a certain lineup, you take what's in the back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I drive up? But and the thing is, he's in supporting protecting the environment. He thought that's what he was doing when he got the electric car. More comes out afterwards and everything. But then you're at a situation where if you have a car that's paid off, you don't jump and go and buy a new one. So, that's where we are.
You're trying to explain why you drove up in the data center.
Yes,
okay.
So not my vehicle of choice, and it will never be my vehicle of choice, but it had to be today because it was in the back of the line.
I got you. If you're just now joining us, you're listening to Council Conversations with Councilman STEPHON Ferguson in the studios with us today, Miss Angela A. Tatum, and we're just talking about community things. We were talking about some of the things that transpired on last evening. The show before us, I didn't hear all of it, but I did hear.
I got some bits and pieces.
Some of it, and I do want to revisit that. The data centers, keep it going because it's the hottest. It's a real hot topic. A lot of people talking about it. I did not personally go on any of the trips to see.
And why is that?
To see the data centers, well, first of all, I had other things to do. It was in the.
You have a life outside of council.
Yeah, I do have a life outside of council. It was in the midst of a break, or summer break. To be honest with you, I felt that. It's kind of like, when we ask staff to go and do research, come back and give us the findings. I felt that I didn't really need to spend a whole day in the heat when y'all were going, and you can come back with the information. But, I really haven't, pretty much everything I heard, I kind of already knew.
Yeah.
And I guess it is, different if you lay your eyes on it. Yeah. I personally just didn't see how, what that would, how that would make it better for me, but that was just my personal piece because I'm more concerned about Fayetteville. I'm more concerned about hearing from PwC, hearing from the utilities that are going to directly affect us.
Hearing from the community.
Yeah, hearing from the community, hearing from, because at the end of the day, and I said it at the very beginning of when we started talking about data centers, when I first got on council, and we're looking at those 5 elements, the electricity, the water, the noise, and the air. Those are the things that we're looking at. So those are the things that we are concerned about. So who is giving us our air? Who is giving us our, we had from Air Equality last evening to ask questions, and made a basic presentation. So
it was basic.
So I really want to hear from those folks that are going to really directly affect us.
Yeah.
So Virginia's not going to have anything to do with my water consumption.
It's not.
Not my electricity consumption or my. I mean, and I do get it. I see how that matches, and I appreciate the work. Mm-hmm. I just know, for me personally, my whole focus is on local. I want to hear what they're doing, because that's what's going to affect us directly. Mm-hmm. What they're doing is not. It's not going to affect us directly, but it will give us more information. And like I said, I haven't got any more information than what I already had based on what I've heard.
If they were going to do that, it's about balance. And so if you're going to say, we're going to visit data centers, okay, let's visit the ones in communities where it's purported that they're successful, but also visit where you see that it has not been successful. In my second, hometown in New Orleans, they just banned data centers just banned them. Mm-hmm. No time, because
where's that at?
In New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
Because they heard when there was talk that I'm saying we, because I'm 17 years, still recovering from Katrina and still having water issues and things. And so when you're already having issues, and when they heard the impact that was going to be on those two main things, the mayor and the entire council said no, period. Mm-hmm. And so it was brought up last night. I saw the community come together, the community, the city, mm-hmm. the county, everyone coming together to fight for our water because it was being threatened.
Are you talking about with
Fuquay?
Fuquay, Virginia,
yes.
Right? Absolutely. I know. I went back to that.
I don't know how you then be like, well, it's okay for this company to come in. And I heard the closed loop, and then I heard someone last night say, well, there's not really a fully closed loop system. At some point, there is a way for mm-hmm. there to be, it to re-enter into the water system. So my thing is, if you came to genuinely fight for the water, and water is life. We cannot, you can go,
We're still in a drought locally.
A week, you can go a week or so and probably more days without eating. Scientific studies have shown that we can only go max 3 days without water. Water literally is life.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it has to be protected. And so I just wish that the lens would be more diverse and not just one narrative going to where it's been said that it's, successful. Let's go to communities, because you can learn and gather what you need from all aspects, not just one perspective. That's what I felt that these visits are. But yes, I do.
Well, yeah, they are. Yeah. I mean, because they went to some smaller ones. We did hear mm-hmm. from Mr. Briggs.
Yes, we did.
And I'm not saying anything against any of the other presenters, but absolutely, he was the ultimate. And I learned. So I'm gonna take that back. I mm-hmm. did learn a great deal from him mm-hmm. Through his experience of 30 years, and he is here in Fayetteville, even though he's on a very low scale as it relates to the scale of data mm-hmm. centers, but that basic kind of information and background, where he could go back 30 years and say, I remember when this happened, and then we got in on it at this level, and this mm-hmm. is how we were able to be successful. Yes. So I don't want you to wait too long, but at the same time, I don't
go too soon.
I don't want you to go too soon.
It reminds me of the pyramid thing. It's like where you get in the
mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I don't want to say
it's a timing thing.
Yeah, because the ones in the beginning, it's like, oh, we're good and we're out. We done. Yeah. Right. But the ones as you get lower, you're really taking a chance, and I think that's where we are. I do want to use this opportunity to kind of dispel some things, when it comes to, what community members. Yes, you hear people saying that they don't want data centers.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'm one of them. Mm-hmm. You also have people that they understand, and I'm not just speaking this hypothetically, mm-hmm. that working session that we did, one of the questions that we asked were 5 choices that people could choose. And I will tell you, the majority of people said that they didn't want them, but if they're going to come, they want strong protections.
Right.
So they can, have both perspectives in,
Yeah.
but we're not saying that we don't need data centers. We do. I'm in the healthcare field. You have to store data. We have our law enforcement. We have our university systems. Do we need AI hyperscaled at the level that it's being told that we need? No. And some people want to say, if you carry a phone, if you drive a Tesla, and that argument is just so weak. One, it's blaming the consumer. The consumer will only use what it has access to, for one. And there are ways to not use Gemini and other features. You just have to seek it out. Some people are okay with their thoughts being given to them. Some people are like, no, I want to read articles and gather thoughts. So I just want to dispel that we're not in a place where we need AI. We need data centers to hold data, because I got a message on my email now that I'm running out of storage. I'm not going to buy storage because I'll be adding to, my little minute, part. I'm going to delete the things that I no longer need. I have a USB that I'm putting things on. There are ways to, do this. So I just want to kind of
dispel that myth,
yes,
the thought that you're totally against.
That we're totally against it, Well, no, I personally am.
Some people are.
I personally am
against it, and I think that's good. You're always going to have two sides. I think they were talking earlier about something about emotionalism, and they were being emotional while they were talking about emotionalism.
I know, that was interesting.
Which got me, but it's all good. I think everybody has a angle. Everybody wants to make sure that Fayetteville is better. We want to see the cause. I've said from the very beginning, I think we need to take this balanced approach, but I want to address electricity, water, noise, air, and land.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yes.
And if we can address those, then that's it. So that's where the whole focus is. Okay, electricity, water, we need to hear from PwC. What are they doing and I think they're doing some excellent things. I have talked to some folk over there, and I think they have an absolute great plan that's not going to affect the city of Fayetteville and to the extent where it will interfere with our water consumption and usage. Now, they were talking about if you use more water, then you use less electricity. If you more electricity, you use less water, and all that. And all those things are kind of coming together because everybody's kind of learning about that at the time. But I think PwC has an excellent thing in place. I just want to hear from him, and I want the community to hear from him.
Yeah, and the community hear from him. And here's the thing: when anyone presents something, allow other independent people to review that and see if there were some things missed. That's all.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we return to Council Conversations with yours truly, Councilman STEPHON Ferguson, we're going to continue with this discussion with Mrs. Angela A. Tatum. It's 9:32. We'll be right back after this.
The House Ethics Committee has recommended that North Carolina Republican Congressman Chuck Edwards face censure. A months-long investigation concluded that Edwards engaged in unwelcome sexual advances and inappropriate conduct toward 2 young female staffers. Edwards denies any impropriety. Hemp business owners from across North Carolina gathered in Raleigh yesterday to oppose House Bill 328, saying that proposed legislation would effectively ban many hemp products. The town of Zebulon's finance director retiring just weeks after state auditors released a report detailing a lack of financial oversight in the town. Lebanese and Israeli negotiators talking again about a possible ceasefire for Lebanon. 25 states and North Carolina is one of them, suing the Trump administration over its latest tariffs, calling them a pretext for replacing import taxes the Supreme Court struck down earlier this year. Tony Rixby, NCNU.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. The Fayetteville Fire Department says summer is here. Stay fire safe. As temperatures rise and outdoor activities heat up, so does the risk of fire. Whether you are grilling in the backyard, enjoying a campfire, it's important to be mindful of fire dangers, especially during hot, dry conditions. Here are a few summer safety reminders. Never leave your grill unattended. Dispose of smoking materials safely. Make sure your fire alarms are working. Cumberland County Schools says be a connector, be a resource, be a champion for families. Become a CCS family ambassador and help strengthen connections among families, schools, and the district. CCS family ambassadors share helpful information, connect families with resources, and support family engagement efforts at their schools and in their attendance areas. Eligible family ambassadors may earn up to $150 per month. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
We're tracking an area of low pressure right near the Carolinas, and that's going to lead to an enhanced chance of showers and thunderstorms for our Tuesday. We're starting out very warm, temperatures in the 70s, highs in the low to mid 80s, again with that high chance of showers and storms this afternoon. Overnight, we're in the 70s with a lower chance of showers and storms, but by Wednesday, more scattered storms and highs in the 80s expected. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the NCN weather.
If you can no longer work because of illness or injury, you should be collecting Social Security disability insurance benefits. Call Brent Adams now for a free consultation. Don't give up just because you've been turned down. Brent Adams has helped thousands collect full disability benefits even after they've been turned down. Call now, 910-888-8888. Don't hesitate. Call 8. At Brent Adams & Associates, we make things right.
Wake up, wake up. You've got the power. Wake up, wake up.
Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed.
Pastor George Coney Jr., pastor of House of Prayer, Church of God in Christ, 3322 Big Piney Grove Road, Clinton, North Carolina. You're listening to Wake Up.
This is Sarah Alford, and I am the pastor of Joy Fellowship Outreach Ministry located at 18336 Highway 87 West, Tar Heel, North Carolina. And I am excited to be a part of Wake Up.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Welcome back to Community Conversations. No, it's actually Council Conversations with Councilman STEPHON Ferguson, District 1 in the studios, Mrs. Angela A. Tatum. We were talking about, when we left, we were continuing the conversation about data centers. You know, at the end of the day, I think, and we alluded to it earlier, everyone who is in the conversation is wants to see this done right.
Yes.
It's just a matter of how you go about doing it.
Exactly.
And it reminds me, it's kind of reminiscent of Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. They both wanted freedom. They both wanted, but Malcolm X was by all means necessary.
By any means necessary.
And Martin Luther King Jr. was nonviolence. And by the end of their lives, they were kind of coming together.
Yes.
But they wanted the same outcome. They just had different ways about going about it.
Yes. So no one way is the wrong way. And you know, when we use words like emotional to try to tame how one may choose to advocate for the very same thing. We all love Fayetteville. That's not a fair assessment to use that as, you know, some people may say that Malcolm was a little more emotional than Martin. But everyone has emotions.
Emotional in another way.
You know,
right?
passion. People are passionate. It's just a choice of words. So
the passion of the. I did want to. Someone put on
The comments.
The comments about, it's interesting you said something about personal. I didn't know, they didn't say what was interesting about it, but, you know, my feelings come based on what I gather from the community. There were 11,000 people, 1,100 people who voted for me. There are 12,000 voters in my district. There are 20-some thousand people, and they elected me to serve. And so that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I advocate for, and I did from the very beginning.
Right.
So I try to keep it on these 5 elements that the city, that the residents are concerned about.
There's a
and
question
every time
for
we
you.
go outside of that, it's like, well, does it address these issues? Because that is what the residents are looking for.
And that's what's going to be in the
and I will say personal, but it's personal based on what I've gotten for the community.
Yeah.
So I've been out in the community. I've talked. Of course, I get a lot of conversations and a lot of calls, a lot of emails. Hey, this is what we think about that. This is what we think about this. And then I have, of course, I'm a resident myself, so I'm going to have my opinion, but my opinion based on this is related to the information that I'm getting from the community, and that's the basic result of it.
And for me, you know, I have a personal opinion. I try not to share it because it may not. It's personal. I don't use and determine my activism on any topic based off of my personal opinion. If I'm going to be an activist that is being a voice for a larger community, it has to be what the community, you know, at large says. So I try to avoid the personal, what do you feel? Like I said earlier, I would have everyone homeschooling, gardening, and not using technology at all. But that's not the reality that the majority of society, community is going towards. There is a question asking, because, you know, I know we have to wrap up and you want to talk about your district and everything, or get to another topic. But, you know, we would love to hear your thoughts and other members you said it earlier, we have kind of heard all the things that we're hearing right now. We've heard the talking points. We've heard there was nothing too new that was even said last night. Nothing too new that you may hear from the public forum portion.
Right.
So we're at a place where are we on passing the amendments for the current proposed UDO amendments and a moratorium? Because those, at the end of the day, I mean, yes, we have other things, but we can only have time to do those other things and address those other topics if we have a moratorium, to have time to do that. And some people may not understand why, you know, why can't we do both? There is downzoning. There is a law that was passed on downzoning.
When you say we can do both, I guess we absolutely can, but you're referring to downzoning, which means if we zone it, then we change it. Then we try to change it. That's downzoning.
Yes.
And that's a very difficult thing to do.
It is once you do it. Now, so here's the thing. You have to have a legal basis for a moratorium.
Absolutely.
It can't just be frivolously that, you know, we just want it because.
And usually that's what it is.
Not necessarily.
I mean, most of the times it's dealing with the UDO.
Oh, yes. So, you know, the UDOs and the amendments to them to get the protections, that's the big factor that will give that legal basis for. So when we talk about, you know, we'll get sued or different things, we know a legal way to do this to avoid, you know, getting sued. And that is having the moratorium and then using that time frame. And many people say, well, why would we need that if at the end of the moratorium we're still going to have some amendments to the UDOs? Okay, fine. That's assuming that, you know, everyone is saying that's going to stop that. You need the time to allow what we talked about earlier. Bring diverse subject matter experts in. The Southern Environmental Law Center has sent in talking points specifically to the UDO amendments for Fayetteville.
Right.
That are not in them. So, you know, we need those things to happen in a particular order. So we can't have them at the same time. We can do the moratorium and then immediately begin some, you know, presentations, community engagement, but you cannot do the UDOs and then say, let's have a moratorium.
Right. I think what we heard last night actually kind of gives some basis and some more structure to the fact that we do need some more time.
We do.
I think where I'm at is it's what time are we looking at? I think if we look
Go
at
with your conscience. And
yeah,
people.
well, no, well, let me go with my personal. If we look at what Mr. Briggs was saying last night, I think he was just absolutely awesome.
He did.
I'm
He did
glad
bring that
that
point,
he
yes.
came. But when he was talking about not too fast and not too slow, so I think that's where we got to look at the balance. We got to look at where we are, and when you hear this late in the game, when you hear the different avenues and the different angles that the different presenters had, it even solidifies the need for more time.
Yes.
Even
So we
more
are
so
in
because
yes, we need
now
more time.
we need
more
what that
time.
looks like. Before I did agree with a 6-month moratorium, we implemented a stay. And I felt that was good. I just wanted to make sure that we had time to address these. I just don't want to leave.
But you didn't have community engagement.
No, what I'm saying is, I understand
Not public
that.
forums, but yeah.
But we did. There was some community engagement. There was some community engagement in different aspects.
Really? I must have missed those.
Yeah, you did.
Because I'm usually on top of when outside of public forums, I didn't see any.
Yeah, well, I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is I see all those things happening. I see all those things transpire. My piece was, where are we at? We don't want to go too fast, and we don't want to go too slow. That's why I didn't agree with a 1-year moratorium because, and I say that because it's going to take 2 to 3 months before you can even implement the moratorium. So you got to add that
Not
to
really.
it. It's gonna, yeah.
No, you could. That same night, there can be a motion to have a public forum.
Thank you. You got to have the public forum.
Public
you got to go
hearing.
through the process.
Yes, but then
we've already been council's already been led on what the
hearing,
process is.
And then at that same night, once you have that hearing, and it can be. Listen, I supported y'all in having special meetings during July. You can have a special meeting. You can have a public hearing.
I get that,
Yes.
but I'm saying there is a process.
Yes,
and that
there's a
process is not next week. That process, it's not. It's so.
Next week is where it can begin.
What I'm saying is going to be at least a month or two at minimum before the actual moratorium could take place. So you're going to add that to it. So you're going to say at minimum of 14 months from today. That's
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
The timing, because I know how it can be done as well. Like it can.
Yes, because you have to have certain things in place, and
Yes.
that takes time. Yeah, you can come up and say, well, let's go ahead and do this next
Have
week
a
and have a
public hearing.
special.
Yes.
You can do that,
You can.
but on a normal basis, it's going to take that. And I'm using that as an example because I'm saying 14 months. We don't need 14 more months to figure this thing out. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay,
now when you said 6 months, 2 months ago, I was in favor of that. But now at this point, I'm thinking I'm not sure where I'm at with that. I think we need more time, but how much more time we need? I don't think we need another year because I think that's what happens with that. In my opinion, is someone. If we're able to address these concerns, let's always go back to these. We're effectively able to address these concerns, and we're able to bring these data centers into our community. If we're able to do that in a matter of 6 months, it will still be 8 more months before anyone could ever move in because of the moratorium.
Okay. So,
and a lot of folk ain't trying to wait that long. They will either relocate, they will go somewhere else. You
wait, so
understand
who's a lot of folks? You said a lot of folks.
Well, the only people that can, the developers that will come in and build the databases. I'm saying you would have to wait another 8. You got everything in line. Okay, we got electricity. We heard from PwC. They're going to handle the water. It's not going to be the water consumption is not going to be to that extent because in our UDO we make a limit. The electricity power
I'm looking at the clock.
and the grid. No, I got it. We got 13 minutes, and the noise factor has been addressed, and we're good. And the community is happy. We've addressed everything. We got to wait 8 more months because we're sitting on
the end of it. I hear you.
And that's the long of it that Mr. Briggs was talking about.
I hear you. So here's the thing. There are even ways to have, because, we just talked about meeting in the middle, and we can find good ground meeting in the middle.
Absolutely.
So I see where there is a need for, and I'm going to put my perspective from, what's being viewed, a need for 1 year, because I know the interruptions of things that are happening with, election season, then holiday season. But let's take that out. My proposal of meeting in the middle is do 6 months and have some factors. You see your 5 factors? If they all 5 have not been met, have a contingency clause that would allow for additional 3 to 6 months. Because here's the thing.
I don't even know where that is legally as far as a contingency. You're talking about a moratorium, a 6-month moratorium with a contingency that we can extend it for 3 to 6 months?
And I don't know how that could be. I don't know how that could be worded. But there are communities. No, there are communities that just did it. That they had a shorter moratorium and got to the end of that and realized, no, we need a longer. I believe that just happened in Wake County, and I want to. So if I say it wrong, please.
No, that's fine. That's why I'm saying I don't know the legalities of
So there are places that they get to the end and realize that was brought up by Commissioner Adams with the county, that what happens if we get to the end of 6 months and we realize we need more time.
Right.
Now, yes, it was explained that you do have to have another public hearing. There is a process.
Absolutely.
There's always a process, but it's not impossible. So, middle ground, 6 months. We don't want to be penalized, the people, the community, penalized because we didn't start it 2 months ago and say, well, let's just chop off, 2 months because we could have done. So if there's an earnest way of trying to meet in the middle on one side, it should be on the other as well.
Let me ask you this question, though. Now, you're with Freedom for All, Fayetteville Freedom for All. And I know some months ago, you were looking at another time frame.
1 year?
No, you were looking at 4 months.
No, we're always continuously looking for 1 year. Well, now, this is, I'm going to go with the whole
tell
thing.
Me about the 4 months, because
so here's the thing.
You all approached me about that.
So it's always
you went from 4 months to a year.
No, it's always going to continue to be 1 year. But we know our council, and 6 months is, basically meeting okay, we'll do a little more than what the county's doing, but because we said 6 months, they did 6 months. Mediocre is 4 months, meaning we're not going to do anything more than the county. If they're coming to December, we're only going to go to December. And looking at all those options, it's really saying how, our view of what y'all are willing to do beyond what another municipality is, but it's always 1 year. The need is literally 1 year.
When you asked me, you said, would you be willing to do a 4-month moratorium? And you even explained, that would take us to here, that would get us done before the end of the year and the holidays. But you're forgetting the other pieces that I mentioned about what that means also. That's the mediocre. Now, if the council wants, I get it, but that was what I was approached with.
Yes, but
and then a month later, it's a year.
No. It's always been a year. And this is where I think what happens, I watched it happen to you last night in the council meeting. Whenever we go to communicate and we, in good faith, are looking at, okay, where are you at? Just because 4 months is mentioned, again, remember, it's saying that the mediocre choice would be 4 months. Now, if you're okay with being mediocre.
But do you agree that you did ask, will we be willing to do 4 months?
If you're not going to do the 1 year.
I'm just saying, did you not approach?
I want to be careful. I want to be mindful of if I said, will you do 4 months? How do you feel about 4 months?
No,
yes,
I want me to show you in the text.
Yes, and going in based off of what was done with the county. Knowing that.
I think we talked about. I don't think you texted me that.
Yes, we did. I know, because I'm very consistent.
Matter of fact, I got 3 other emails from Freedom for All.
Yeah, I'm very consistent.
And it was asking me the same.
Exactly.
The 4 months.
Not asking for the 4 months, but saying
it clearly asks, would you be willing to do a 4-month moratorium?
Based off of the county. So
I don't know. I'm not worried about what it's based
on. But you
on.
acknowledge. So let's go back to our conversation.
Yeah.
We spoke, and I went into detail about what the three choices and options are.
I get it where it's at now.
Because that really, and I want to really
I was
fully
just
explain.
asking,
but I want to really fully
there.
explain what the 4 months of what we're approaching those and trying to get some time is that's saying we're looking for the mediocre choice.
Absolutely.
I
get it. I get it.
4 months.
I just
we
wanted
need
you
time.
to be
and 4 months is better
realistic
than
that
0
was
months.
where it was at a couple months ago.
That's where it got to.
Okay, well, it was that.
No, it's always been 1 year.
It had to be there if it got there.
No, I'm saying it was always
Once
1 year.
it got there, it was there.
No,
So,
it's
yeah,
always
I got
1
you.
year. And this comes back to what I said about voting your conscience. If the council wants to be mediocre and say, you know what, well, okay, we're not going to do any more than the county. December 15th. If the council is okay with being mediocre, I would hope that we would not.
I don't think that's mediocre, though.
It is,
I wouldn't
because
call
4
it
months is
mediocre.
just-
It's mediocre according to what
No,
you're asking
it's mediocre
for.
according
But
to
I don't
what
think
needs to be
as
done.
a reality that
No, I'm saying it's mediocre according to what has to happen in 4 months that we know that cannot happen. Look at what y'all just came and did with the 911.
Why did you advocate for it then?
Because
If you
we
knew it
need
wouldn't
a
happen.
pause. We need a pause.
Did you learn more after that and say, no, we can't do 4 months? That's not going to work.
No, you're
because
not.
you were shooting for 4 months.
So here's the thing. We have always shot for 1 year. We don't have the faith that y'all are going to do 1 year.
Okay.
I don't.
So then you asked for 4 months.
I'm asking
because you
for-
didn't think we would do.
No, I gave 3 options. Do you remember the 3? Do you remember the 6 months?
Okay, no, we're good. We're good. I
Okay.
just wanted to. I know the last time I was approached, it was for that, and then it's.
Yes,
yeah,
there
okay,
was
that's cool.
there was a coming down of because
Right.
at the thing at one point we have some that were not going to give a moratorium. We need a moratorium. Now
got
4
you.
months is not good. I don't have faith that it's going to do what we need to do.
Yes.
But it's better than 0, and that means you need some really intentional engagement of the community, not the public forum. That is not a setting that will allow that true engagement.
Gotcha.
And so all the things that have to be done, staff, all your 5 points, hearing from the presentations, getting them in, getting, y'all having meetings and little smaller group meetings. I don't feel that it's going to happen in 4 months, but 4 months will get us the main thing is pausing on passing the UDO proposed amendments right now. 2, it will hold you at least to having at least 1. We would love 2, 3, but at least 1 intentional engagement with the community that's not just a regular public forum. And so, yes, when you're desperate to be heard, we're down to 4 months, but it's always 1 year.
Okay.
1 year is literally what's needed to do
I
this
got what you're
effectively
saying.
right.
But I just wanted you
Yes.
to make sure that.
Yes, 4 months
I
is
won't-
mediocre.
I'm just sitting up here
Yeah.
thinking
4
it was
months?
something I heard.
No, you did. No, you
I
definitely
got you.
did. You definitely
I got
did.
you. I got
and
you.
that is, the mediocre choice that we would have.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
hope that our council
It's
members are
okay.
not mediocre.
No,
that's all.
I'm gonna have to defend them on that one because I don't see that it's mediocre. I think it's mediocre based on what your group wants. I
You
don't
really think your
it's
council can get things? What would
No,
need to
I'm
be done
just
in 4
saying
months?
when you say mediocre,
Yeah.
I have to defend my colleagues.
No, it's saying we're not going to do any
Then
more than the county.
we ain't
I don't ever
mediocre
see
in
you
any-
all wanting to do anything more than the county. If the county only gave, then that's where, if you remember,
Oh, yeah,
where
yeah,
6
yeah.
months
No,
and
no, I got what you're saying.
So
Yeah.
I'm like 4 months where it would start. But think about what you just said. You said it would take 2 months to even get this going. So now you're saying we would only have a 2-month moratorium?
No, I'm talking
'Cause
about
we
in
only have-
addition to, not subtract. You went from 4 months and said to 2 months. I'm talking about 2 months added to it. So if
Wait,
you
2
did a
months added
4 month,
to-
it would be about 6 months.
So we're back to 6 months. Hey, I got you. We're back to 6
Thank
months.
you.
Okay. So can we get a year?
You know what?
Let's get a year.
Look,
Come on, let's get a year.
I think we're going to do the right thing,
6
and
months, okay.
we're on the
Okay.
right path.
All right.
And we're going to do what is right. I
hope so.
What is the
I hope
right
so.
thing? I know I will, and I'm sure. I feel confident
There's a whole
that
community that is in Fayetteville and even outside of
colleagues
Fayetteville. That's
that's what.
there's people in Fayetteville and also in the unincorporated areas that are depending on y'all doing the right thing.
Yeah, well, look, I think we all have heard it. We've gotten the emails, we've gotten the calls, we've gotten the information, public forums, hearings. We
Do you have any questions? What is a question that you have that's looming that you have not heard answered from the community, those that are doing the work? What is something that you're like, y'all still haven't?
No. When you say y'all, I can't really speak.
No, I'm saying
because
what is your question that you have for?
I don't know. Someone will get on council and just speak totally against something, and then vote for it.
No, I'm saying for you.
So
is there a question that you have that, I've heard them talk about downzoning and why we need a moratorium and why we need to not pass the amendments first?
I don't have
any. Is there something?
There's not really any question. I've kind of kept up with every side and every angle.
Did you read the talking points from the Southern Environmental Law Center?
I did read the talking points. And so, I get it.
Have you reached out to them?
Have I reached out to the Southern Poverty Law?
No, Southern Environmental
Law Center.
Because you could.
No, I have not reached out to them.
That's an option also.
I didn't really. There's a lot of entities I could reach out to. I did reach out to the entities that are going to directly affect our water, our electricity, our noise, our land, and the things that the local community is concerned about. I have reached out to them because they are the ones who are going to directly affect all of these concerns.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh, all right. Well, you had something at the end. You good?
Yes.
We got what? We got about 30 seconds. 1 minute.
Okay, yes. So, my other role in the community is with Mama's Village Fayetteville, and we just participated in the Women's Health Summit that was hosted by the county. But Mama's Village also has a new home. We're going to be having an open house. You will be invited. The council will be invited. This is going to allow us to really have more events and things that focus around Black maternal health, with nutrition, with our young children, with social determinants of health that affect us. So
we'll be looking for that and be looking forward to that.
Thank you
I did want to
much.
mention real quick, August 28th. Friday, August 28th, it's the Unity Banquet at New Life Bible Church at 7 p.m. You can go to theunitybanquet.com, theunitybanquet.com for more information. Our keynote speaker is Mr. Isaac Newton Ferris Jr. He is the nephew of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., so we're excited to hear from him.
Yes.
TheUnityBanquet.com. You're listening to Council Conversations with Councilman STEPHON Ferguson, and thank you to our special guest, Angela A. Tatum, for joining us this morning. Join us next month. Second Tuesday in every month, and we'll be right here. First Tuesday. I don't know where I'm at. First Tuesday of every month.